There is a nurse named Bronnie Ware who spent years working in palliative care, sitting with people in the final weeks of their lives, listening to their reflections, documenting their regrets. And what she found was so consistent, so universal, so completely aligned with what Buddha taught 2,500 years earlier, that when you hear these 5 regrets and then hear Buddha's response to each one, something will shift in you that cannot unshift. Because these are not the regrets of people who failed by conventional measures. They are the regrets of ordinary people who lived ordinary lives and arrived at the end wishing they had lived them more fully, more honestly, more courageously. And every single one of them is avoidable, if you start now. The first regret is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself rather than the life others expected of me. This was the most common regret of all.
Across every culture, every background, every set of circumstances. The authentic life not lived, the self not expressed. The choices made for approval rather than alignment. Buddha's response to this regret is the teaching he gave most consistently throughout his entire life. He said, "Do not seek the approval of others for your own peace. Your life is yours. The choices that align with your deepest values, however uncomfortable, however disappointing to others, are the only choices that will not haunt you at the end. Start making them now, not perfectly, not without fear, but consistently, one honest choice at a time." The second regret is, I wish I had not worked so hard. Almost every person who said this was not regretting the work itself. They were regretting what the work replaced, the presence they were not there for, the relationships they neglected, the moments of ordinary beauty they were too busy to notice. Buddha taught, right livelihood is work that serves life rather than consuming it. Work is a means to a life, not a substitute for one. The question worth asking today is not whether you are working hard enough. It is whether the way you are working is leaving adequate room for what actually gives life its meaning, for the people, for the moments, for the ordinary, extraordinary experience of being alive. The third regret is, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. The love that was never said out loud, the gratitude that was felt but never voiced, the honest truth that was swallowed to keep the peace. Buddha was unambiguous about right speech, about the importance of saying what is true, what is kind, what is timely, and what is beneficial. And the specific application of this teaching to the third regret is simple. Say what you mean to the people who matter while they are here. Not eventually. Now. The words that feel awkward to say now will feel irreplaceable once they can no longer be heard. The fourth regret is, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. The drift that happens, slowly, almost imperceptibly, when life becomes busy and contact becomes less frequent and years pass without genuine connection. Buddha taught, the Sangha, the community of genuine relationships, is one of the 3 most precious resources available to a human life. Not acquaintances, not followers, real friends. The people who knew you when, the people who remember who you were before the roles accumulated. Reach out today. Not with a lengthy explanation of why it has been so long. Simply with, I was thinking of you, because you were, and because that is enough. The 5th regret is, I wish I had let myself be happier. This one is perhaps the most heartbreaking of all, because it reveals that for many people happiness was available, genuinely available, and they chose not to claim it, out of habit, out of the mistaken belief that happiness was self-indulgent, out of the accumulated weight of taking everything too seriously and forgetting, somewhere along the way, that joy is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the natural state of a mind that is not being held hostage by fear, comparison, and the exhausting performance of perpetual seriousness. Buddha's teaching on this 5th regret is perhaps his most urgent message for the older person. He said, happiness is not a reward for the deserving. It is a practice available to anyone willing to practice it. Right now, in this moment. with whatever is here. The grandchild's laugh, the morning sun, the cup of tea, the memory of someone you loved, the simple, profound, easily overlooked miracle of being conscious and alive on this particular day, in this particular body, in this particular unrepeatable life. Let yourself be happier. Not later, now. Not when the circumstances improve. Now. Not when you deserve it more. You deserve it now. You always did. 5 regrets and 5 practices. Authenticity, balance, honest expression, genuine connection, and chosen happiness that ensure none of them has to be yours. You have time, not unlimited time. Nobody does. But you have now. And now, used with full presence and genuine intention, is always, always enough. Save this and share it with everyone you know who still has time to avoid these regrets. Subscribe to Tathagata Wisdom, because every single day we bring you the wisdom that helps you live in a way that leaves nothing important unsaid, unlived, or ungiven.